Where did this video find you? TikTok, Facebook Reels, YouTube's recommended spiral at 2 a.m.? However it got here, write in the comments. I need to know who else ends up on these stories that make your jaw drop and your coffee go cold. Because this one's different. This story isn't about revenge. It's not about an HOA, or a greedy landlord, or a courtroom showdown. It's about silence, and skill, and a moment when a whole group of trained men, soldiers no less, were brought to a dead halt by one quiet woman. A woman most people would overlook, until they saw the tattoo. Let's go back to the start. Her name was Jane. Not Janie, not Jenny, not anything cutesy or soft. Just Jane. Simple name. Simple clothes. Simple car, an old gray Toyota Corolla that looked like it had survived a few apocalypses. Jane walked into the shooting range on a cold Tuesday afternoon. Not the kind of place that welcomes newcomers. You know the type. Heavy doors, lots of military guys, a smell of gunpowder and attitude. Jane was wearing jeans and a faded hoodie. No makeup. Hair tied back. No fancy range bag. Just a duffel that had seen better years. She walked up to the counter. The man there, a guy named Rick, all beard and bravado, barely looked up. "You here for someone?" he asked. Jane blinked. "No. I'm here to shoot." Rick gave a smirk. "You military?" She shook her head. "Law enforcement?" "No." He raised an eyebrow. "You know this isn't a public beginner class, right?" "I know." Rick shrugged. "Suit yourself. Bay 3 is open. Targets are already set." He didn't bother offering help. Didn't point out the locker room. Didn't even ask what firearm she was using. That's okay. Jane didn't need the help. She headed to Bay 3. Set her bag down. Pulled out her gear. Calm, precise. Like she'd done it 1,000 times. A group of guys were already in the next bay over. You know the type. Loud, tactical gear, expensive rifles, American flag patches, and all the swagger in the world. One of them leaned out when he saw Jane. "You lost, sweetheart." Another one chuckled. "Careful, boys, she might show us up." They laughed. Jane didn't answer. She loaded a 9mm. Not a flashy one, just a clean, matte black Sig Sauer. No custom paint, no attachments. Just function. Then she started shooting. 3 rounds. Dead center. 3 more. Slightly tighter grouping. By the time she emptied the first mag, even Rick had walked over to take a second look. The guys next to her? They'd paused too. One of them, the youngest, probably ex-military, tilted his head. "That's damn near surgical." Still, they laughed it off. One joked that she probably played a lot of Call of Duty. Another muttered something about luck. Then the door opened. That's when everything changed. The man who entered was tall, hard-faced, with eyes like steel. You could feel the respect ripple through the room. Even Rick straightened up. That was Commander Reese. Retired Navy SEAL. The range was partly his. Not by ownership, but by presence. If he was here, everyone knew to shut up and pay attention. Reese didn't say a word. Just walked toward Bay 3, nodding to the loud group of guys who had suddenly gone very quiet. Then he saw Jane. He stopped mid-step. His eyes narrowed. Jane didn't notice. Or maybe she did and didn't care. She was swapping magazines. "Come." Steady hands. Reese walked closer. And that's when he saw it, the tattoo. It was on her wrist. Faded but clear. An insignia. Not decorative. Not trendy. Reese stared. And then he said, quietly, "Where did you get that?" The room went silent. Jane looked up. "Classified." Reese took a step back. "That's not something you buy at a tattoo shop." She didn't smile. Didn't flinch. "Operator?" he asked. "Retired," she replied. You could hear the air shift. Like the range itself was holding its breath. Reese turned to the others. "Do you boys know what that mark means?" They shook their heads. He nodded at the youngest. "You ever hear of Unit Echo 9? The kid's eyes widened. That's not real. That's just rumors. Reese laughed once, dark and low. It's real. And if she's got that ink, she's done more than any of us. Jane holstered her weapon. The mocking, gone. The jokes, dead. The room, silent. Rick cleared his throat. Can I get you anything? Jane shook her head. Just needed some practice. Reese stepped forward, extended a hand. Not in greeting, in respect. Jane looked at it, then finally smiled. Glad you still recognize it. She turned and walked out. Nobody stopped her. And from that day forward, her name echoed around that range. Not as a joke, as a legend. Drop a comment if you've ever underestimated someone and got hit with the truth like a punch to the gut. Or better yet, tell me who the Jane in your life is. Because sometimes, the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous. And sometimes, a tattoo isn't just a symbol. It's a warning.